Welcome our next contestant, Ian OSullivan.
Hi. So, the Earth orbits the Sun. A little blue planet here. Back in the day, some people used to think that the Sun moved around the Earth. Although we're right, it does. You can see it. It depends where you decide you want to take your measurements from. The Sun is not fixed in space any more than the Earth is fixed in space like they thought it used to be. The Sun still moves around the galaxy along with the rest of the solar system, and the whole galaxy moves around other galaxies. What you have to do is measure the movement of one thing against another. The same thing applies for things like lengths. The length of something is always compared to something else. If I want to measure the space between the ceiling and the floor, I could measure with my little ruler here and find it's about, I don't know, I can't see well on those lights, maybe 4 or 5 pieces of elastic long, or if I measure it over here, it's a little bit different. This is a bit of a problem. You can get into difficulties if you try and insist that one thing defines space, the space between the floor and ceiling. Or you can also get in the same difficulties if you decide that only one place is fixed, because everything moves relative to each other. Every length changes relative to each other. The height of this room is not fixed. That can change too, just like the Sun, even though it is fixed relative to the orbits of the planets, that can move too. Even the speed of light can change relative to other things. Forget what Einstein told you. The speed of light is not constant. It can change relative to other things as well. And you would get into quite a bit of trouble if you decided that it was one fixed, constant, always the same. So for example, if I insist that this length is one constant length, instead of saying the space between the floor and the ceiling is, well, what just happened? Space itself increased. And you might hear physicists talking about distortions in space-time and saying that that's what gravity is. But what they could say is they're a piece of elastic. The thing they're moving, they're measuring space and time against, such as the speed of light, that is also what changes. Either way, it's the same.